It seems as if this is the week the WNBA players decided, you know what? July 4th week, we are going to start playing out these CBA negotiations in the court of public opinion. We're going to air our grievances. Every time we get in front of a camera, we're going to complain, we're going to whine, and then hopefully enough fans, enough supporters are going to get on our side and start holding up their pitchforks and torches, marching at the door of Cathy Engelbert, screaming at the owners, we want more money, we want more money, give the players what they want. And hopefully they're expecting that the owners are saying, oh yeah, sure, here, you want my watch too? Here.
News. Brianna Stewart basically confirms they're not getting anything they want in the CBA. The CBA offer is a joke, a slap in the face, a spit in the face, and the players will go on strike. They're gonna go on strike, y'all. This is happening. I think this is gonna come to a crashing head.
The WNBA negotiations for the new CBA has begun, and according to Satu Sabli, it's not going super well so far. Because she said a lot of information without saying a lot, and it doesn't sound super promising, at least the first offer that the WNBA gave to the Players Association. And so obviously the goal is to continue to work on the
I think it's gonna happen. A WNBA lockout is on the horizon. A WNBA lockout's on the horizon. I just think it is what it is. Like, these players, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's kind of crazy. Y'all got to get y'all game together. I'm going to say that first, bro. We watching all these games. I get it. Y'all want more money. Y'all want more of this, more of that. But, bro, can y'all start by making layups? Like, we watch. Some of these games are hard to watch, bro. I just got to be honest. It's a million missed layups. The score in some of these games be like 28-31 at halftime. Like, bro, y'all are professionals.
Did Brianna Stewart just declare all-out war on the WNBA owners? You heard that right. The league's biggest and most respected names are done playing nice. They're done smiling politely. They're about to start playing chess with a room full of billionaires. And let's just say, it is officially checkmate season. What started as quiet, behind-the-scenes locker room whispers about the new collective bargaining agreement has now exploded into full-blown public strike talk. The WNBA just flipped the script on its own fairy tale season, and things are about to get wild, messy, and very, very expensive.
I told you the celebration was over. I am sure the diva of Dump Divas, Cat Engelbert, I'm sure she thought that everyone was going to be thrilled with the expansion of the WNBA. I'm sure she thought the cities of Cleveland, Philadelphia, Detroit would be throwing parades welcoming unknown dump divers to their city. I'm sure she thought WNBA players would be doing something that they have never done before. Not complaining. I'm sure the dump diva thought, the players have been demanding more money, so I've got the perfect solution. We'll open 3 new dumps, which will give players the opportunity to play more games.
It seems this is the week the WNBA players collectively decided, you know what, we're done. They are taking their CBA negotiations out of the stuffy boardrooms and directly into the court of public opinion. They are airing their grievances every single time a microphone is put in front of their faces. They are complaining, they are whining, and they are hoping that enough fans will grab their pitchforks and torches and march on Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's office, screaming, give the players what they want. The owners, meanwhile, probably thought they could toss a few glittery crumbs from their banquet table and call it a feast. That shiny new CBA proposal? According to the players, it was basically a cheap participation trophy, cynically dressed up as meaningful progress. Here, the owners seem to say, take this half-baked offer and remember to smile for the cameras. Except this time, the players didn't just smile. They scoffed, they laughed, and then they collectively, powerfully said, absolutely not.
We got a proposal from the league, which was honestly a slap in the face. And I think we really have to put an emphasis on the players that are in our league right now. But I love to see the league growing. I think, you know, adding these teams in Philly and Detroit, like, that's how amazing is that the league can grow. But how cool would it also be to have like a little bit expansion on the rosters. Like, let's focus on the teams that have everything set up right now, and maybe focus on the teams also that find excuses continuously to lack investment.
Brianna Stewart, a multi-time champion and one of the league's most influential voices, is not playing the PR game anymore. She has clocked the nonsense, and she is fed up. The league's initial offer, she made clear, didn't even pretend to fix the real systemic issues plaguing the players. The grueling travel schedules, the inadequate pay, the subpar facilities, the fundamental lack of respect. It all still reeked of that old tired refrain. Be grateful you're even here. The league tried to spin it, as they always do, like they were doing something truly revolutionary. Except when you peel back the cheap, glossy layers, it's the same old insulting deal, just with a fresh coat of corporate paint and maybe a new, condescendingly scented candle. Charter flights for a handful of games are nice, but they don't fix the core problem. A marginal raise that still doesn't cover half a month's rent for a decent apartment in New York or LA. That's not progress. That's a joke.
This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be really bad. And I think I see the viewpoint from Brianna Stewart, but I see the viewpoint from these owners. They haven't made $1 with y'all, and y'all keep asking for more and more and more. Let's see what Brianna Stewart had to say about the CBA negotiation. She said, I'm absolutely frustrated. Anytime you go back and forth, you're not expecting to hear that yes on the first proposal, but you're expecting to have a conversation. They just kind of ignored everything we say. My bad. I'm not supposed to laugh. My bad. Hey, these owners getting disrespectful out here. They get disrespectful. They just ignore y'all. Oh, man. Y'all thought Caitlin Clark was going to save this shit. Oh, my God.
We got a proposal from the league, Stewart stated, her frustration palpable, which was honestly a slap in the face. She continued, her words cutting through the usual diplomatic fluff. I think we really have to put an emphasis on the players that are in our league right now. And while she gave a nod to the league's expansion, her message was clear. How cool would it also be to have like a little bit of expansion on the rosters? Let's focus on the teams that have everything set up right now. Meanwhile, the owners are reportedly sipping vintage wine on their yachts, pretending that responsible budgeting is just so incredibly hard. The players saw right through the act. So now, it's strike time. Maybe not an official picket line strike just yet, but a full-on media tour strike. A war of words being waged in every interview. Because how many times can these world-class athletes speak up, calmly and professionally, before they realize they're just talking to a very expensive wall? A wall made of yacht receipts and courtside billionaire ego? Stewart is fed up. The veterans are fed up. This is going to be bad, really bad. And while you can see the viewpoint of the owners, they haven't exactly been making a profit for years. You can't ignore the fact that they are now trying to lowball the very players who are finally making their league profitable.
So as expected, the WNBA owners gave the players a CBA they're not happy with. As expected, because let's be honest, it is straight up, like, the owners are not just going to go and give the players what they want, especially when right now it has been shown that this league, their growth has been exponential due to one player.
And the rookies, the ones who just walked in the door thinking they were joining a league on the rise, they're now getting a crash course in disillusionment and likely need therapy to process it all. The message from the top of the WNBA has been loud and clear for years. Sit down, smile pretty, sell some jerseys, and don't complain. But apparently, selling out entire arenas, as Caitlin Clark has done single-handedly, doesn't automatically buy you a seat at the actual negotiating table. And here's where it gets incredibly spicy, because Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom, the golden goose, is watching this whole dumpster fire unfold in real time. And you can almost hear the gears turning in her head. A league-wide strike in her rookie season? This isn't what she signed up for. She didn't shatter every college basketball record known to man, single-handedly revive women's basketball fandom, and break the internet on a nightly basis just to walk into a league that's more interested in playing Monopoly with its players' real careers. If there was ever a time for Caitlin Clark to seriously reconsider her long-term loyalty to the WNBA, it is right now. Europe is calling. Endorsement deals are booming. And Clark might just decide to pull a reverse Liz Cambage. gone without so much as a parting glance. The chaos is peaking, the drama is escalating, and the owners still look utterly baffled, as if to say, why are they so mad? We gave them matching team tracksuits and even added extra snacks to the plane. The delusion is reaching Olympic levels of absurdity. This isn't about mood lighting on the team bus anymore, folks. This is about professional athletes sacrificing their bodies, their time, and their sanity, just to be treated with a baseline level of professional respect. Not like they're background dancers in someone else's billion-dollar profit machine.
I'm not sure what the players are expecting. I just hope that they understand that they're at a negotiation table across from sharks. Not minnows, not guppies, not goldfish you flush down the toilet when you forget to feed them for a few days. They're across from sharks. They swim in the waters and they smell blood when it comes to the WNBA Players Association, and they smell blood, especially when they see how they've been treating the only player in the league that draws some moolah. They're like, oh no.
Brianna Stewart knows this game all too well. She's played for championships for Team USA, for global leagues in Europe and Asia that actually pay her like the superstar she is. And now, she's supposed to just bow her head and smile gratefully, while the WNBA tries to bargain down her basic dignity. Not a chance. As expected, the WNBA owners gave the players a CBA offer they are not happy with. It's straight up, as the transcript commentator notes, like the owners are not just going to give the players what they want, especially when the league's exponential growth has been so clearly tied to one player and one player only, Caitlin Clark. Stewart isn't built like that. She's got the receipts, she's got the influence, and she has clearly run out of patience. She's done being polite. When someone like her starts sounding the alarm this loudly, it's because the fire is already halfway down the hallway, and it's about to engulf the entire building. The WNBA is walking headfirst into a buzzsaw of its own creation. The league office keeps churning out marketing campaigns about empowerment, equality, and league growth. Yet, when the players demand the bare minimum to reflect that growth, it's suddenly radio silence from the owners. It's all, we hear you, and we value you, until it's time to actually write a real check. Then it's, let's table this discussion for a later date. Well, later doesn't cut it anymore. The players have the receipts, they have the fan support, and for the first time, they have real, tangible momentum. And they're not here to play mascot for some billionaire's passion project. If the owners thought the players' strike talk was just a bluff, they might want to double-check their group chats and start taking this seriously.
Being absolutely exponential due to one player and one player only, and that's Caitlin Clark, with league-wide viewership down 55%, which is not great. Which is not great at all, if we're being honest. League-wide viewership being down 50%, 55% with Caitlin Clark gone, is not good in any way. So clearly, the players don't have the leverage that they want. Like the players, there's one player that's not in those CBA negotiations. The one player that actually could get some change. And by the way, I don't think the Indiana Fever are going to do anything to help the rest of the league. I think the Indiana Fever, no.
I'm not sure what the players are truly expecting. I just hope that they understand that they're at a negotiation table across from sharks. Not minnows, not guppies, not the cute little goldfish you flush down the toilet when you forget to feed them for a few days. They're across from sharks. They swim in the murky waters of high-stakes business. And they smell blood when it comes to the WNBA Players Association. They smell blood, especially when they see how the league has been treating the only player who's actually bringing in the big bucks. The one who brings in Joe Moolah. They're thinking, oh no, this isn't just posturing. This is the sound of a league reaching its absolute breaking point. When your top stars, your marquee players, are seriously considering walking off the court mid-season, you've lost control of the narrative, the locker room, and quite possibly your entire league.
WNBA facing backlash on Thursday amid CBA negotiations. 2 days after Phoenix Mercury forward Satou Sabally called the WNBA's opening offer in collective bargaining talks a slap in the face, New York Liberty star Brianna Stewart gave another update that was not any better. On Thursday, three-time WNBA champion Stewart was quoted as saying she was absolutely frustrated with the league's negotiating tactics. They kind of just ignored everything we said Stewart, a vice president and member of the WNBA Players Association Executive Committee. In response, The league and WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert in particular faced heavy criticism on social media from fans worried about the looming possibility of a lockout when the current collective bargaining agreement ends after the 2025 season.
This could have been the golden age of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark brought the spotlight. The ratings soared. Social media engagement exploded. People care now in a way they never have before. But the league, in its infinite wisdom, had one job: capitalize on this moment. And instead, they are fumbling the bag in spectacular, slow motion, real time. This was the moment to step up, to invest, to show the world that women's sports are a premier product. Instead, we're getting strike threats, internal chaos, and the kind of behind-the-scenes dysfunction that makes reality TV look like a calm, well-ordered documentary. It's not just Stewart speaking up anymore. It's the entire locker room, and their voices are getting louder. The stars, the bench players, even the rookies who haven't even had time to fully unpack their suitcases are chiming in. And guess what? They're all saying the exact same thing. We've had enough. Enough of being treated like second-class athletes. Enough of being told to just wait. Enough of getting the scraps while the owners post vague empowerment quotes from their vacation homes in Aspen.
The owners are not just going to go and give the players what they want, especially when right now it has been shown that this league, their growth has been exponential due to one player. Straight up, it has been absolutely exponential due to one player and one player only, and that's Caitlin Clark, with league-wide viewership down 55%, which is not great.
A has been telling you for a while that they're big and they're good and they're strong and they're worth money. And I've been telling you for a while that looking at their TV rights and using that as the sole example of the health of the WNBA is completely wrong. The players are doing in the WNBA is they are foreshadowing a major collective bargaining fight. As a matter of fact, the WNBA All-Star Game is less than a month away. We're almost there. And what the league players are doing in conjunction and in cooperation with their own union, they've started to make statements that are very meaningful.
This league is either about to evolve or completely explode. There is no in-between anymore. Either the WNBA steps up and finally meets the moment, or it risks losing the very people who built its foundation. Players like Brianna Stewart don't throw around strike talk for fun. She's done the math. She's seen the balance sheets. She knows this league can afford to do better. It just stubbornly, arrogantly refuses to act like it. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has a front row seat to all of this dysfunction. And you can't blame her if she's starting to meticulously map out her exit routes. She's a generational talent, trapped in a system that's still trying to figure out if women's sports are actually worth a real, substantial investment. She didn't rise to the top of the sports world to babysit a league with severe commitment issues. If the WNBA doesn't wake up, and wake up fast, they won't just lose a season to a strike.